Alright, today's review is going to be on Thor Ragnarok. Let's go ahead and get into it. So, the plot, I have it an 8-2. The general Ragnarok plot is an interesting one, and especially the way that they weave in the Grandmaster and Loki into it. I think you can argue that the Grandmaster might make this movie worse, that they're just stalling because, we can't think of what to do on Asgard, because if Loki and Thor are on Asgard, then they would fight Hela immediately. I think they do stall a little bit with Sakaar in general, but I'm pretty sure that's the name of the planet, right? Sakaar? I think it is. I think it is. Um, but yeah, anyway, I feel like they do stall a little bit in this movie. And anyway, the generic Ragnarok plot is good enough to hold up an 8-2 rating even without it. This movie does a lot of joking around. This is a goofy movie. Taika Waititi can't ever take anything seriously. If I take one thing seriously in my life, I think I'm gonna explode. That's clearly the way that this man operates, and it shines through into this movie and multiple other movies of his. Um, yeah, dialogue 7-8. The dialogue in this movie, again, they chuck up a lot of shots, just like a lot of MCU movies do. This is a Taika Waititi MCU movie, so it is like putting a hamster on steroids and giving him crack cocaine. He is chunking up shots at a rate I have not seen, and it'll only get higher in Thor: Love and Thunder, which sounds like, ooh, no, it's a threat. It's not great. But anyway, yeah, the dialogue in this, I gave it a 7-8. At the end of the day, there is a lot of redeemable stuff between Bruce Banner and Thor, and between Thor and Loki. I just feel like there's a lot of good, especially between Thor and Loki. They pretty much wrap up their story at the end of this movie and at the beginning of Infinity War. And with what they do with Thor and Loki at the end of this movie, it feels very meaningful. It feels genuine, heartfelt. It's like it's to me, it's one of the more heartfelt parts of the MCU of Thor finally coming to an understanding of who his brother is, and that he needs to stop trying to make Loki like him. That he just needs to let Loki be Loki, and you can kind of feel Loki ease up after that because he's like, well, that's like all I've ever wanted. It's a very meaningful like little bit of dialogue between those two, and it really props up this rating because I'm telling you, the rest of the dialogue in this movie is not great. It's not great at all. It's a bunch of jokes. But yeah. Anyway, on to the acting. So I feel like Tessa Thompson and Chris Hemsworth definitely do a lot for this rating. I think it's Kate Blanchett, right? Yeah, I think it's Kate Blanchett that plays what's her name? Hella, there we go. Yeah, I feel like obviously, and then Tom Hiddleston too. I feel like those are the four pillars of this movie. They do a really good job with the acting in it. I do feel like Mark Ruffalo, he feels like he's acting in a movie. Tom Hiddleston does not. Tom Hiddleston is in the movie. When you're watching Mark Ruffalo act as Bruce Banner, you're like, he's acting like he's acting. Um, but yeah, anyway, yeah, shout out Tessa Thompson, shout out Tom Hiddleston, shout out Kate Blanchett, and shout out Chris Hemsworth. The cinematography in this movie, aka visuals, got it at 8.3. This movie does a lot of the Thor and Hulk fight scenes in Sakaar really well visually, and I feel like the end scene on the Bifrost Bridge is really well done. The scene with Surtur at the beginning of the movie is decent looking. And then, as always, Asgard looks really good in the movie. Let's go ahead and get on because that's about all I can do there. Soundtrack 8-1. The soundtrack in this movie, it's got this like weird like techie vibe to it, which you would not think would go with the story of Ragnarok, but it does. I think it could have been better if it was a different theme, but it wasn't. So for what it was, it's okay. It's okay to good. It's an interesting choice to be sure. To be sure to yeah. Anyway, you get the point. It's an interesting choice to go with in a movie like this with the origins that it has in actual Norse mythology. But yeah, end of the day, it's not horrible. Let's go. I'm gonna rapid fire through the bonus ratings. 8.3. They chunk up a lot of shots in this movie for the comedy. 8.3 for the comedy is what I have. It's good overall, good per shot, not great. World building 8-2. Yeah, I mean this pretty much, like I said, concludes Thor and Loki's story, concludes Odin's story, introduces the Grandmaster and Valkyrie, and then also introduces Hela, Surtur, and eventually sends Thor and Loki on their way to Infinity War, which obviously is a key moment in the MCU, and then that sparks the Loki TV show, and unfortunately Thor: Love and Thunder after that. So 8-2 for world building. Characters 8-6. This movie's got a lot of good characters to work with, and they especially tried. You can tell the one that they really tried to stick the landing on was Valkyrie, and they do a okay job with Valkyrie. And Valkyrie and Loki seem to be the main ones, and then probably Thor and you know Hela secondary. But honestly, Hulk being in this movie feels like, oh, we don't have the rights to Hulk. We got to put him in another movie, and they put him in this one. Obviously, it was planned a decent while in advance because the ending of Age of Ultron set it up to be that way. But it still feels like, oh, we don't have the rights. Let's throw him in another movie. So yeah, that's it for the character rating. 8.6, action 7.9. A lot of this movie has to work with like a lot of VFX and a lot of like crazy, like super strong, super fast action because that's who the characters are. It's they're all gods essentially. So and the one that isn't a god, or the two that aren't a god, is Valkyrie, who they make her more tech oriented in this, and then in the last scenes they kind of give her more traditional weapons to work with. But then on top of that, Hulk being the other like hero or person with powers in this movie, a lot of it is super strength, super speed, super jumping ability related. So it all like goes to an extreme. So I have the action of 7.9 because it looks like a little like blast off, and then like it's like you just like drag like a picture, and then like they zoom off it. Like everything's very quick, I guess is what I would say in this movie, but it's not quick good, it's quick eh. But yeah, anyway, back to the total rating for this movie, which I have at an 8.2. This movie, again, if they would just fix the dialogue a little bit, I feel like this movie and the Guardians of the Galaxy movies are kind of in the same boat. I like them already. If you would just fix the dialogue a little bit and take it a little bit more seriously, but still hit on your jokes that you're hitting on, I feel like it could be a very well-rounded movie. Sometimes the Guardians of the Galaxy movies and the two Thor movies, they feel they lean way too much into the comedy, which, like I said before, the MCU typically leans into the action comedy elements, but these movies really, really lean into it. So yeah, that's going to be my review for Thor Ragnarok. 8.2 is the rating. Let me know what you guys think about the movie. Let me know what you guys think about my review of the movie. And yeah, thank you guys for watching, and peace.